been a rather dreary start here to your Tuesday. Now the afternoon is going to be a little bit better just because we are starting to see some dry time coming into the mix. Good afternoon, I'm meteorologist Erin Ashley, and that's mainly happening down in northern Kentucky, parts of Owen, Grant, even Pendleton counties, but light rain all around southwestern Ohio, maybe a few downpours here and there. We don't expect today to be a really great day. We haven't been saying that, right? And the forecast hasn't changed. You'd expect off and on showers, maybe a few rumbles of thunder with what you see right now, but I haven't seen any lightning, so therefore it's just a rainy mess outside on our radar image. The heaviest rain that we have moving through right now looks like it's moving close to downtown here soon, near Rising Sun, Indiana, crossing the Ohio River into parts of Boone County. Burlington area can expect a decent downpour, especially on the south side of Burlington. Again, this is happening within the next 15 minutes here in downtown. Your lunchtime hour, a more moderate shower. It's going to lighten up, though. We've got a little bit of dry time on the way for us here. But again, as we work into your evening, here's what's on the way. We don't expect the rain to come to a complete stop. We're just kind of integrating a little bit of dry time here, a little bit here. It's not going to be great per se, but we're always looking for the silver linings. And the reason why we're seeing so many opportunities for rain here, not just today, not just tomorrow, but through the rest of your extended forecast, is because this front, this stationary front, what you see here, is stalled just north of the tri-state. And so we're seeing a lot of moisture, a lot of warmth because we're just on the south side of this front, kind of riding this frontal boundary. And I mean, a lot of what you're going to see here, the storms, the rain is going to be moving kind of like that from southwest to northeast, very west-east flow here. And because we're on the south side of that, that's why we're seeing warmer temperatures, a lot of humidity to feed these showers, but it's also providing the threat for some stronger thunderstorms. It's not going to be today because we've seen plenty of rain kind of zap that energy, but tomorrow, can't rule out some strong, maybe severe thunderstorms. We'll get to that here in just a second. Here's getting you out the door as we work into your afternoon today with highs in the middle 50s. We can't rule out just a rumble of thunder here and there. Nothing strong, nothing severe, but it's definitely going to be one of those days, not necessarily one of the better days out of the next several. Let's unpack your headlines real quick because while we're talking about the opportunity for rain each and every day, some days are going to be worse than others, and we'll unpack that in your 7-day coming up in just a few minutes. Today, heavy rain at times. A few rumbles of thunder can't be ruled out into your afternoon and into your evening. But the threat for something stronger arrives tomorrow, and I'm really just seeing that for tomorrow. And then there's going to be an opportunity later in the week into your weekend on Saturday, and that's coming in with some cold front. So we're still active into the weekend. We'll get to that here in just a second as well. Give you the first alert on how to prepare for the weekend plans. Temperatures right now kind of all around the board. We got that rain cooling effect happening. So some of us are in the low 40s. That's Harrison, Connorsville. Some of us are in the middle 50s. Vevey, Owenton, Maysville, Georgetown, West Union, all at 53 degrees right now. And again, everyone is really seeing the rain at this point in time. Just a matter of how much of it have you seen? And some of us have seen over half of an inch already, and we're not done. So we're seeing a good amount of coverage. You see it on your radar image right now, but we do expect as we work in some thunderstorms, the showers to become just a little bit more few and far between, but there's still about a 50% chance throughout your evening that you're going to be noticing those thunderstorms. Nothing strong today, a few downpours here and there. Notice that dip kind of happens just around dinner time, so that's good news for the plans. And then we work into your Wednesday, and that's when we start to notice heavy rain coming back into the tri-state. And this, because we've seen at this point nearly a whole day of rain straight, flooding is going to be a concern heading into your early Wednesday morning. Wednesday itself, we're tracking more rain, you guessed it, and as we work into the afternoons, thunderstorms could be on the stronger side. A marginal risk for severe weather. Main threat here looks like it's going to be hail. We got a lot of different temperatures from all the way up in the sky to all the way down here. In order for hail to kind of form, you have to have some sort of discrepancy between the temperatures and the layers of the atmosphere, and that's exactly what we're seeing here. It also provides just a little bit more of a concern for the hail, but just can't rule out some, of course, downpours and then stronger winds too. 61 your forecast high tomorrow. Thursday, a high of 68. You're not going to need the heavy winter coat. You're going to regret it actually, because it's not only going to be warm, it's going to be humid, and especially in the overnights. It's going to be very humid overnight. And so wearing a heavy jacket, you will feel very stuffy. So don't do it. I wouldn't recommend it. That's Thursday morning. Honestly, tomorrow morning, Thursday morning, and Friday morning, all in the 50s. And then Friday, more rain, more storms look likely, with a high of 74 though. It's gonna be the warmer day out of your 7-day. As far as how much rain to expect and when to expect it, today and tomorrow have the most coverage. So you could expect, I would expect rain and a few rumbles of thunder. Definitely today, you've already seen it, and definitely tomorrow. Thursday, we'll start to see the chance drop just a smidge. It's still more likely that you'll see it though. All the way through your weekend, 60% chance or greater of showers and a little bit of rumbles of thunder. And then as we work into your late weekend, that's when things are going to start to dry out. That cold front passes through and brings with it cooler temperatures. Still tracking spring-like temps all the way through early next week. So that's some good news here. Let's talk about the, you saw the percents. Let's kind of talk about the impact here a little bit more. So today, rainstorms likely. We're already seeing it. Tomorrow, that's when we start to talk about the potential for something stronger, maybe severe, but it's a very isolated risk, especially coming off of a rainy overnight. That's going to help us, even though our flooding risk is only going to get more concerning into the late week. Widespread storms on Thursday. Friday storms will continue, and by the end of the weekend, most of us will have seen at least 2 inches of rain, if not closer to 4. Yeah, it's just going to be waterlogged, and we can't rule out flooding and flash flooding because of how much rain we are seeing. I'm going to take you hour by hour through this forecast. Let me see if I have any questions coming on in. JD's asking how I'm doing and what's the weather for Canton. Canton, I am not exactly sure. Cooler than us probably. And today I'm doing well. Thank you for tuning in. Okay, so heavier rains being seen in parts of southwestern Ohio right now. You're going to see that kind of lift north and east. Here's the dry time in northern Kentucky that we're seeing right about now, really. You're going to notice more rain happening in Cincinnati and north through the afternoon, but notice as we get closer to about 5 to 6 o'clock, we start to see that rain lift a little bit farther north. And so that's why about 6, 7, 8 o'clock, you're going to be noticing some dry time coming into the mix, and then as we see the late evening approach, that's when the rain takes back over. Notice flashes of lightning possible as we work into your afternoon and evening. I'm not concerned about severe weather tonight, but a strong downpour can't be ruled out, of course. But then as we work into your Wednesday, notice I'm taking you hour by hour here. The rain just continues all overnight. And that's why we have that flooding risk early Wednesday morning. It's not going to be a good morning to be out on the roads. Of course, we can't really avoid that, but the heaviest rain is going to be working through overnight. We're still feeling the effects of it after during the morning commute. So puddles, running water, rushing water, especially down the hills, I should say. As we work into your mid to late morning, that's when the heavy rain starts to get now out and away from the tri-state. We're going to hang on to some light showers through about lunchtime, and then look, we start to dry out a bit. Not great news though, because as we work into your late evening tomorrow, that's when we start to talk about the potential for strong to severe weather. Hail, you can see these little thunderstorms, these cores, if you will. That's where we're more likely to see that threat. And then, of course, lightning and heavy downpours is going to be a concern. Now, working through your Thursday, more thunderstorms on the way. Friday, a rainy start to the day. And then, as I said this last weekend, the afternoon and evening for Friday look better. Now, Saturday, another round of rain carries us through, and then we see that front pass. The air will start to dry out, but cool down just a little bit. So we do have an end in sight to this really active pattern. It's just not anytime soon, really. At least not within the next few days. It'll be on Sunday. So by the end of all this mess, most of us will have seen at least 2 inches of rain. That's the light blue that you see there. Or excuse me, that's the dark blue you see there. The light blue is 3 inches, and then the purple is at least 4. So some of us may try to get a little bit more than that once everything is said and done. Important thing to note that even though we're tracking the return we are seeing the return of heavy rain in the tri-state all the way through the rest of this work week. It's not necessarily pulling down those temperatures. Not great for the storm threat, of course. That'll help fuel anything stronger, especially tomorrow evening. But, I mean, middle 70s with some dry time. I'd say your pick day for the rest of the week is going to be Friday, specifically in the afternoon when we start to see a little bit more dry time. I'll let you know if that changes. As the front passes through, notice that tiny little dip into Sunday, back into the 60s, and then we warm up into around this time next week. But from beginning to end in this 10-day forecast, your first alert extended forecast, temperatures are well above normal, and we've got a very active forecast as well. Rain and storms likely today, tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday morning. Temperatures in the middle 70s by the end of the week. So today, high of 56. By the end of the week, we'll try to add 20 degrees to that. Saturday and Sunday, more active weather on tap. Remember that we do fall back. Oh my goodness, we spring forward an hour. Oh my goodness, which means we lose an hour of sleep. I always get a little bit confused with this. Anyways, we'll talk about that in a second. And then we start to see a little bit of a drier pattern into early next week. Temperatures go right back up into the middle 70s before we are noticing and tracking pretty carefully an end to these mild temperatures a little over a week from now in the form of some thunderstorms on Wednesday of next week. And let's talk about daylight saving time. It begins in 5 days. That's on Sunday around 2 in the morning. St. Patrick's Day is 2 weeks from today, and spring will begin a little bit after that. And so as we spring forward Sunday, sunrises and sunsets will be an hour later. So today's sunset, March 3rd sunset, is 6:33, and the sunset for Sunday is going to be at 7:38. All right, no other questions coming on in, so I'm going to go ahead and sign off here in just a second. We'll have the latest information about how much rain to expect and the severe potential for any thunderstorms coming up later on today on Fox 19 at 3 o'clock. But for now, signing off here in Queensgate, I'm meteorologist Erin Ashley. Have a great rest of your Tuesday.